You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Well, it keeps going from bad, disastrous, to even worse for the U.S. women's national squad. Of course, the U.S. women's soccer team that seems to hate the U.S. That doesn't seem right. Well, in fact, most Americans feel like that's not right. And because of that, they became one of the most unlikable squads that we can ever think of outside of any team involved with the WNBA. Well, it seems as they went out there and laid a complete egg during the World Cup, a World Cup in which they were at least among the favorites to win that thing. Of course, Megan Rapinoe was taking her I'm retiring victory lap, which she dropped right before the World Cup. She dropped that news as she could get that old grifting dollar a-moving for her social justice, wearing her man suits and, of course, running her mouth out there and disrespecting the country. The other day, she decided to take shots at everybody, Alexi Lalas, Donald Trump, yada, yada, yada. But the one thing that was clear, this team did not like America, and this team thought they were much better than they actually were. Because of that, they bought into their own hype. We saw the post-game celebrations that were made absolutely no sense. Carli Lloyd called them out for that after very underwhelming performances. Well, FIFA Soccer, of course, has a world rank for these women's soccer teams. And it seems FIFA has also seen that this team was not very good, and they have plummeted their world ranking. Keep in mind, this team was number one for a very, very long time. They're not anymore. U.S. women's soccer team drops to lowest FIFA ranking after early exit from World Cup. That's right. They are certainly not the number one squad in the world anymore. Outkick. Following its worst ever performance in the Women's World Cup, the U.S. women's national team has fallen from its number one world ranking spot to its lowest ranking in the 20-year history of FIFA's ranking system. Wow. 2 decades, folks. This team that was more concerned about selfies and disrespecting the national anthem and believing their own hype, as well as getting involved in every social justice cause you could possibly think of, this team that clearly put soccer on the back burner is now paying the ultimate price. This is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. The U.S. women's national team had held the number one spot since June 2017. Amid the team's back-to-back Women's World Cup victories, but after being bounced out of the round of 16 by Sweden, the Americans have fallen to third in the world. Look, this isn't for actual gold medals, but that would be bronze. Yeah. No longer a gold medal kind of squad. The U.S. women's national squad began the 2023 Women's World Cup with a 3-0 win against Vietnam. By the way, that was an underperformance. They should have beat Vietnam 8-0, or 9-0, or 10-0, or 12-0. And they greatly underperformed about Vietnam. By the way, Vietnam embarrassed them at how patriotic they were towards their country, while the U.S. women's national team decided to disrespect the national anthem massively in that game, but managed to score just 1 goal over its next 3 matches before falling to Sweden in penalties in knockout stage. And of course, Megan Rapinoe, now very famously, completely phantom missed that whole thing. And it was sort of the cherry on top of her now disastrous career, the end of her career. Karma is a bitch, of which there is no escape. And Megan Rapinoe, there you have her right there after missing that penalty kick. Sweden is now the top-ranked team in the world after beginning the Women's World Cup ranked third. Spain, who beat England to win the Women's World Cup, moved up from 6th to the number 2 spot. England now ranks 4th in the world rankings. Now, it's kind of beyond me that they would even be ahead of the U.S. women's national squad at this point. Lindsey Horan recently explained that the team wasn't fully prepared for this year's World Cup. Wow. Quite an admission for a co-captain of the U.S. women's national team to make. We did not get the best out of every single individual. I don't think everyone was fully prepared, and that's on us as well. And of course, the coach became the scapegoat of this entire situation. All right? Not the players. Not the players, even though she just came right out and said they weren't fully prepared. All right? It seems that this team may have been reading their own press clippings and thought they were about to saunter through this tournament. I don't know why. They were among the favorites, but they weren't the favorite. So they were going to have to play their asses off to win, but they could have won this. Make no mistake. Horn also claimed the players on the team, quote, weren't enjoying individually playing, despite being video evidence of the squad cheering and dancing after a disappointing draw against Portugal to get out of the group stage. Well, we just talked about this. It seems like the U.S. women's national team was concerned with everything but the main thing they were there for, which is, well, the main two things: soccer and love of country. And look, it's got to be the passion. It's got to be the drive to try to go out there and leave it all out on that playing field for the United States of America. And if this team, and judging by their national anthem reaction, can't stand their own country or has animosity towards their country, they are not playing as hard as they can. I mean, the first criteria for representing the United States on the U.S. women's national squad should be patriotism and love and drive to want to win for the red, white, and blue. That should be part of the criteria there. All right, find the most driven players to bring home the World Cup for the U.S. women's national squad. It's clear somebody like Carli Lloyd ate up with patriotism. She loves this country, went out there, represented it greatly for years. Hope Solo too. Played their asses off, left it all out there on the field. And let us not forget about Megan Rapinoe and the idea that she bullied teammates. That came out from Hope Solo, was bullying teammates over them not wanting to kneel for the national anthem. That is poisonous to the chemistry of a sports team. When your supposed leader is going around shitting on other players, for lack of a better way of putting it, because they want to respect the country they're playing for? You get my point, folks. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Appreciate you watching. Hit subscribe. Peace them out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.